Today, I want to show you how I start a custom planner bullet journal for someone digitally to be sent off to my manufacturers, printed and shipped to their house. So, this is again how I basically run my business. Hi, I'm Krista. I'm a mom of 3 little babies. I love journaling and I love YouTube. Can I say that? I love being on YouTube, but I also love bullet journaling. That's what I normally say. Last week I shared my tutorial for print on demand, so the techie side. Today is going to be again a little more technical, just showing you how I create these bullet journals digitally, walking you through like my process in my mind, I guess, and then again kind of the digital side. So there's like 2 parts, right? Like my knowledge of bullet journaling to help build a bullet journal, and we are going to start the outline of my 2025 bullet journal that I'm doing next year. So let's get to it. I want to show you this bullet journal. So this is the 2024 bullet journal that I made last year. It's pre-made, so like there's stuff printed in it, layouts already in it. It's not dated. That is my 2024 bullet journal that I made. This is what comes to you when you, make it with your print-on-demand manufacturer. So I'm going to show you that, how I made it on Canva. So let's get to it. All right, my lovelies. This is my Canva page from what I made last year. When you go into Canva, you're going to make, or actually I'll show you how to do that. So I have Canva pulled up right here, and I'm going to make one kind of with you. So if I go to Canva, we're going to use the size that I always use for Lulu, which is right here, 6.08 times 8.52. That is the A5 lettering side. So I'll type that out. 6.08 times, oh, I gotta change it to inches. 6.08 times 8.52. And this is my new design. So this is like where you're gonna start. You're gonna start with like a blank page. We're gonna go back to this bullet journal. So I have already made this bullet journal. It is complete. Here it goes. So again, this is like normally how you'd start. This button down here in the right-hand corner, grid view, is super helpful if you're trying to make a planner and lots of pages in it. Let's pull up all the pages. So now you can see all the pages that were in my bullet journal, which looks like a lot. How I make a bullet journal is I structure each thing into where I want it yearly, monthly, or weekly / daily. So like this vision board, goals, year at a glance pages, those were all yearly pages. I wanted them at the beginning because I want to reference them a lot, perhaps, right? And then the month in this journal, I wanted monthly themes and a monthly layout. So that's my like monthly section. And then the other thing I will say that's kind of monthly, but at the end of the month is I love to have a reflection. So here's my January reflection. That's a part of my month. And then the weekly layout is right here, which I'm going to click on this and tell you that this is terrible. For myself. It was terrible. This was really great. I actually use this on my iPad for my digital planner, and I liked that, but it is not enough space for me when I bullet journal. In fact, I'm like so tired of this tiny bullet journal. My mind is feeling ready for a bigger bullet journal. Yes, I could switch, and I tried to switch at the middle of the year, but it didn't really work. So I'm just waiting till the new year when I make my new one, which we're about to make together. So anyways, let's go back to it. Those are just kind of things to think about. Is it a yearly thought or like tracker that I want to go over? Or is it a monthly thing I should put? Or is it a weekly thing I should put? So let me talk about what I mean by that. So here's our entitled design. I am going to just like give us a heading. These are my go-to fonts in case you're wondering. Let's see, Blueberry outline and what's the other ones? And then this is just Blueberry and then this is Merriweather. So we're gonna call this my 2025 bullet journal. And then, yeah, we'll get to like the specifics of it in just a second. Let's add another text right here. So, 2 things you want to think about when you're making a bullet journal is, do you want this to be dated or undated? I am going to go ahead and say that this one's going to be a dated one because it's my 2025 bullet journal. I didn't date this last one. Um, Interesting. I guess I could sell that again, but I'm not going to sell it again because I didn't even like it that much. No, I did. It's great. It's going to be a great journal to look back on, but it didn't really serve my purpose as well. Okay, so it's dated. We're going to make this dated. And then the other thing that I want that you can think about is fonts, right? Like these are like overarching things before we get to like the nitty-gritty. I showed you these are like kind of my fonts. I like them. If you want different fonts though, think about that. And then the last thing we'll think about overall is like, do you want like a theme? Like, do you want little pre-made like things to draw, right? So let's go back to here. Like I gave myself a little theme for January, February, March. I tried to make them like monthly themes. Or do you want to just be able to like draw and create on your own? Or are you not like a theme person? You're just like a color in here and there, or just like straight pen. Think about those things. Okay, so oh wait, I guess I'll go to it. So we know my fonts. Those are the fonts that I use. And this is actually going to be no theme. I don't want this to have themes. So if you're looking for like a themed one, Alex's daily planner has themes. There's yeah, that'll be themed and it'll be ready for my 2025 bullet journal. But if you want to like draw yourself, this one, because I actually think I'm going to sell this one, and I'll explain what I'm doing with this one in just a second. Okay, so now let's go to like the things. Let's break it up into those three sections, right? Let's do, come on, what am I doing here? So here's Canva. This is not going to be in my journal. I decided to just like put it on here where I'm making the journal because it's going to help me like be an outline for when I'm making it. But this will not be printed anywhere. This is just like purely like brainstorming, right? We're just the beginning stages here. So let's just go like yearly, monthly, and then like weekly slash daily. Okay, what do I want yearly? Something that I would love to have yearly that I'm like is the main thing on my in my mind right now is I had this pregnancy tracker that like I really loved, but I want a period tracker and it's gonna be sort of like a mood tracker too. So I'm actually really excited to like design this one. That'll be a fun one. So I'm gonna have that at the beginning of the year. And the reason that I like this to be yearly is because I like to see the data like for each month side by side. Like I wouldn't want to put this. If I put my period during the month, then I have to flip to January, then February, then March to see like when my period was, or to see like how my mood was changed and affected. Like I have to flip through it. So I want to like see that yearly. So that's going to be important for me. I'm actually going to try and like research this next year and like figure out how my period is affecting me because I'm really good at knowing my like pregnancy, like how I feel during each trimester, those kind of hormones and like energy levels I understand pretty well, but I don't understand my hormones and energy levels very well with periods. So I'm gonna like figure that out. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I'm scared to write this down. Marathon prep slash mile tracker is actually what I want it to be. I went on my first run of probably the year. It's November. I went on my first run in years this morning because I think I want to run a marathon. Never thought I would say that. In my head right now, next year, I just had a baby, right? I'm like 6, maybe 8 weeks postpartum. I think I'm like shooting for a half next year, but knowing me, I'll probably do the full thing. But I struggled on that run this morning. I didn't make it quite 2 miles. I went like a mile and a half and then I walked the rest of the way home, which was it was amazing. Love my neighborhood. So I want to track that yearly. Yeah, again, I want to like see that data. I want to like see what I'm doing each day. There'll probably be some like colors and stuff in there. I'm excited to make that one. What else? Next up is a reading tracker. I love to see what I read each year. And that's just like, well, I have some of those on there. And then the other one I like to track is like show tracker. What shows are we watching? And mainly just like shows that I like. This could maybe be podcast. Yeah, I think I might add podcasts this year. I have never really been a podcast person, but I started being a podcast person this year. So I might add like podcasts. So I envision like the reading to be like one side of the page and then like the shows. Actually, I think the reading will be 2 pages because potentially if there's like a really cool book I like, I might like write it out on the other side. And then shows and podcasts will maybe be their own pages as well. Just like these are some of the podcasts and shows I'm watching that I really like. Okay, I think I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to check yearly, and as of right now, no, there is. If you watch this video, listen to one of my latest podcasts, I talk about how I am using a separate bullet journal for business things, because otherwise I'd probably throw some business stuff in there, but no, business is separate. So this is just like for me, and I like it. Okay, so next let's go to the monthly. So we already decided like we're not doing themes. Well, it's not going to be printed, but I am going to be like drawing by hand my themes. I love to do like monthly themes. I love to like add in themes for like the yearly trackers and stuff. So I'm gonna be drawing those themes in. So we're not gonna be like digitally putting in any like things to color in or anything like that. And let's talk about what I like in my monthly. So I'm actually pretty simple with my monthly. A lot of people do like habit trackers, but I'm not gonna do that. I decided I don't really like tracking habits besides these ones, right? I'm tracking them yearly. But I am gonna do like a month at a glance, which is just like your normal like monthly planner layout. Oh, I did have a question I wanted to put at the like I usually have like a column that I do like golden to-dos, but I wanted to add the question, what would I love to see happen? I was gonna say like accomplish or do, but I think see happen this month is a good one. So like I might put that on the like far left column where there's gonna be a little bit of space. So that could be like goals and to-dos, but I like it to just be like, what I like to like I want to use this bullet journal as like I write it down and it happened. So here we go. Okay, and then so like I said, I don't do trackers, I don't do themes, but I also, so like, this is kind of funny because I do it at the end of the month, but I'm going to put it in with the monthly thing because it's not like during my weekly or daily layout. But the monthly layout is, or at the end of the month, I want to do a monthly reflection. And so honestly, in this bullet journal that I create, I'm probably going to leave it blank, just like two blank pages. You could think of it as either before the month starts or after the month ends. And I would just like draw in like a monthly reflection. And how I like to do monthly reflections is I just like to personalize reflection slash journaling prompts. So what that looks like is like I think last month I gave myself a prompt that I like was going to write about anyways, but kind of like made it a little more succinct. As I was like, what's it been like with Spencer's new job? Spencer recently got a promotion, so I wanted to just kind of like hash that out, like how it's been, like, you know. So like I kind of like take the month, look back at it, what have I done, and like give myself a journaling prompt in that way. If you want journals with like built-in reflection questions, there's others on my website that you can take a look at, but I just like to do it myself. Okay, so that's like where I put. So do you see like the structure coming together of this bullet journal? We've got our yearly stuff, we've got our monthly stuff. Now let's do the weekly and daily stuff. And I actually haven't thought too hard about this. So let me take a second and think. Okay, no, I want it to be columns. I used to um I used to do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I really liked that for a while. But I think I would want columns. And I'll just say this. I am actually not going to be using a pre-made bullet journal this year. I want to go back to making it myself. It's like honestly just like a hobby of mine, and it like feels a part of my routine to like actually set up my bullet journal. So I am making it digital, and I think I'm gonna print it and send it to myself just so I like have it and I can like rip out pages and use them if I would want or something like that, or I'll just give it to someone. No, I'll probably keep it, but it'll be nice to for like setting it up. I could just like copy the layouts in there. And I think mainly I would want to do columns. So again, my weekly planner, since I'm going to be drawing it each week, could change. But if I had to choose one, I think I would choose columns. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the times in there. Yes, I think if, again, I might be changing it if, since it's like I'm drawing it each week, I might want to draw out the times every week. But I think I would put like, I love having the times. I love having a spot for like breakfast. I usually call it B, but breakfast, lunch, and dinner like in my day. And I kind of like would give myself self space between, those things and like either write out what I'm doing or what I want to do. Ooh, this is coming together. I want like Becky did this in hers, like top three. I don't know if I like label it to-dos, but like I might just like have some space at the top for like to-dos. Again, I could like put those in different time slots if I wanted to, but like I'll just probably put like this is what I would like to do. And it could also be like a reflection spot if I don't put it in for my to-dos at the top. Oh, and then I think I like this. This is also in Becky's, but I used to do this too. Personal to do and work to do. And then, oh shoot, I need to think about this. I like to add reflections, and normally I journal about my kids. I think I'm gonna keep doing that. And I think I'm gonna have a spot at the bottom for my kids, space for each kid, and myself. I think I'll put myself first. Space for myself, space for each kid. So what I've done in these ones is I have three kids, by the way, is I just have journal about them, right? They're babies, they're not doing much. They're just kind of like being cute, baby book type stuff, like first steps, when they crawled, um, all those things. But what I've started doing is like journaling about them, yes, and then almost like being like, this is what we need to work on together next week. So like, for example, my oldest daughter, like she's potty trained, but she like always wants me to take her to the bathroom. So I'm like, I'm working on like her just like going by herself. So things like that, like what do they need to be learning, growing, doing those type of things, or like I want to play more with this kid this week, something like that. So, ooh, that feels really good. Okay, so what I like to do for people, what I'm going to do for myself right now is come up with this. I like to come up with an outline for clients, or in this case, myself. And then I'm going to send them a little taster of their weekly layout. So for me, what I like to start with is a blank dot grid, and then I like draw around it. So I'm going to go copy from a different bullet journal. I'm going to copy from this bullet journal. Let's click on the vision board. So again, I've made a lot of bullet journals. I can like do this. If you didn't see my last video, you can download this dot grid page from Lulu, the manufacturer I use, and paste it in. So here's my blank dot grid page. That's how I like to start it. And sometimes it takes a minute to start. So I'll like label this weekly one. And then if you add a page, actually, let's go back. So this is how you add a page if you want to add another page. Or you could push this button, you could throw it away. This is how you copy a page. So I'm going to copy it. It should have the dot grids. They're just not showing right now. My computer, I guess, is being slow. So this is like my weekly layout. There you go. It showed up. Yay. Showed up. Okay, normally what I would do is I would come over here to this elements and I would grab a square. Or you could do a line, but I like to grab a square. And like since I wanted columns, I would drag this over and like make the square be as big as my columns. Like this is my Monday through Wednesday on this side. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing actually. So the reason I do a square is because you can outline it. If you push this border button, you can make a border appear on this instead of like connecting lines. So that's just like a tip if you're wanting to make a bullet journal. And then if you come here to color, just put no fill because we don't want anything in there. So look, now we have like part of a calendar in there. And if I were making this myself, I would be like counting the dots, like making them as long as I'd want. Now we can go in and add lines. So I'm going to turn my line to 90 degrees. I'm going to put it where I want. This is the worst part, in fact, is making these lines go straight. They never go straight, but that one looks straight. I think vertical lines do it pretty well. So that's obviously too thick. I come up here right here, and I like my line weight to just be one. It's not going to be a thick line. So this side of the page is just going to have 3 days of the week, right? So imagine this as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the other page will have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My weeks start on Monday. And then if you want these to be like spaced evenly, I would just count your things. Okay, so there's like tips for setting up a calendar, adding lines and stuff. Text, if you come over here to text, this is where you can like add January, then like under it, I would put like week one, right? I showed you that before. But since I've done this a lot, I'm actually going to get rid of all this stuff because I'm just going to copy from one of my other ones. So this is Becky's bullet journal. Um, we made this together. I'm going to copy it because I really like it. And I think this is going to be the like go-to kind of setup for myself. So I'm going to delete that because I copied it over here. I'm going to change this font to Blueberry Outline. Oh, wait, actually, let me show you this tip. Okay, this is Merriweather. This is actually Merriweather font, and I did this effect that hollowed it out. So if you wanted to, you could color that in. This is Merriweather without a font, or without the effect. This is it with the effect. It makes it hollow. So the font that I normally use is already like hollowed out. So there you go. So I'm gonna stick to this. I'm gonna delete, and this is like she had these already in there. I'm gonna delete this. I don't I want this to just be blank because I could put events or to-dos in there. And I'm also going to delete this. I'm not doing the daily ones. I think those are awesome, but I don't want to do those in mine. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I think I'm going to add 9, actually, 9 p.m. And I'm going to shorten this. See, lines are the worst because look, that's like not straight. Okay, so I added the 9 o'clock. I added this line. I'm going to leave this blank down here. And then let's go to Thursday through Sunday. Okay, so here you go. I added Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's what I have for my layout. This is what I want to send to people as like a tester, and then I could go in and add the other ones later. So let me know if you want to see me add the other ones later, but I gotta go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. That was me. That's what I do. If this video is helping you, amazing. Subscribe, stick around, we'll do more. If you're doing like starting a business, reach out to me. If you want to like hand off this technical side to me, reach out to me. I've decided that I'm pretty good at this stuff and I want to keep doing it for people, especially really cool creators like you. If you're a really cool creator, you have a really cool idea for a bullet journal and you don't want to do this, you don't want to think about your outline, you don't want to think about like how to do it on Canva, how to do it on it digitally, how to send it off to manufacturers, hand it over to me. Let's work together. Let's get a custom bullet journal, planner, whatever you want to call it, out to yourself and out to your people. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat next time. See you guys.